Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is adjective phrase number 3. The adjective phrase today is fly by night. Okay, let's take a look at the note here. A fly by night business is a type of business that may run for a short while and even do some legal business. Yeah, a lot of times they'll do this in order to gain confidence, so they get a lot of people coming to them to do business with them. However, after collecting a lot of money for orders or investments, will often try to run away without providing the goods or services. So this is what we mean by a fly-by-night. All right, let's continue. Number 2, we have a second meaning here. This is more for an individual person. Someone who is a fly-by-night person is untrustworthy or financially irresponsible, especially a debtor who tries to avoid paying one's debt. So there's 2 ways we use it, especially with a business or some individual person. All right, let's look at some examples here. Number 1, several years ago in Bangkok, there was a fly-by-night travel service that took money to buy scores of tickets and then took off without purchasing them. Yeah, I remember it made the newspaper, like the Bangkok Post. And I don't know, they must have caught about 60, 70, 80 people in this. And remember, most of these tickets were overseas tickets, people going back to Europe or going to America or something like that. So probably each ticket was over 1,000 US dollars. So they took off without purchasing all those tickets. So that's a perfect example of a fly-by-night business. Okay, let's look at number 2 here. That fly-by-night gypsy fortune teller disappeared after making a big score. Yeah, I used to know some gypsy fortune tellers there when I was younger, and very often, you know, they did their normal business, like reading palmistry, reading reading people's hands, giving people fortunes, doing fortune telling for them. But every now and then they'd get somebody who they convinced them that maybe the reason they had bad luck in their life was that they had money that was cursed. And often they would tell them to come in with and they had to bring all the money in a brown paper bag. And very often, and they said that they would burn the money together to get rid of the bad luck. And of course what they did is, I don't know, maybe they distracted them and they did a switch. So they kept the real money and burned the fake money. And this happened a number of times, and every time they made a big score, every time they got away with one of these, one gypsy family would move away and another gypsy family would move in. So this is another perfect example of a fly-by-night. So they're there for a while until they made a big score, and then they took off. Let's look at the third one here. You must ask each tenant for several months' deposit, or you may end up with some fly-by-night tenants. All right, well, of course, anytime you rent a place, it's kind of customary that a landlord may ask for a few months' deposit. The main reason they do this was just in case, towards the end, if somebody didn't actually pay for the last month or 2 before they moved out, or before the landlord had them move out, they might just run away, try to disappear without paying the last few months. So this way, at least the landlord has some advance warning. Okay, and that's why they ask for it, so that because they don't want to end up with any fly-by-night tenants. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it was clear. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.